Give y'all a minute to step up in here. Oh man, it's cold as hell. It's 41 degrees. You know what I mean? Shit. I know it's a lot colder in other places, but man. Damn it. Goddamn. Hold on, killer. Nothing like this way. Oh man. Damn it. Alright, that shit leaking. Damn it. Anyway. Sorry about this. Get your ass out the way. What's good? What's good? It is Thursday, December 16th, 2021. And it's nice and cold. On my way to work. So, I wasn't even thinking about doing a live this morning, but I was watching Queen's Throne's live stream last night, where Sonetta supposedly, y'all know Sonetta is, you know, he's part of the Hotep division of YouTube. Anyway, I'm watching Queen's Throne's live stream last night, and so to kind of give you guys some context, there's this cat in the Hotep two-step community who goes by the name of Shaka Amos. All right, he's I guess you could say he's pretty well known in that community. I really didn't know too much about him because I don't really watch that type of shit. But you know, he's in that community, and he has a YouTube channel. He often goes on Sonetta's program to talk about shit, and a lot of shit came out because of Brother Polite. Brother Polite has been accused of molesting, basically raping a 14-year-old child, right? He allegedly raped a 14-year-old child in a hotel room when he was supposed to take her to a party or some shit, which I don't know why he's taking a 14-year-old kid to a party. But a lot came out after that happened. So the Brother Polite thing happened, and then people are coming at Sonetta because, you know, Brother Polite is associated with Sonetta, and Sonetta had some prior knowledge that he said he had gotten from a police report, but then was dropped. But you know, he didn't act like at the time it was based on a police report. He acted like it was like first-hand knowledge or second-hand knowledge based on his wife. Anyway, Shaka Amos had been accused of the same thing. He had been accused of grooming a 14-year-old girl right from the age 14, and she actually came onto Inky's channel to do the interview and explain how Shaka Amos basically groomed her into being a willing participant in sexual deviancy, right? So he groomed her. He was in his 30s. She was 14 years old. He had been grooming her. He was dating her mother. Now, her mother is apparently a piece of trash, right? But, and that's going to lead us to what the title of this video is about. But anyway, allegedly he's grooming this kid from the age 14, and by the time she was 15 or 16, they started having sex. All right. He had groomed her so well that by the time they did it, she basically just submitted. Like, she just basically did everything that he wanted her to do, right? According to her in the interview. So basically, according to her, he's allegedly a child rapist, right? Now, this is based on her accounts. I tend to go off of evidence and facts, and this is just something that she's saying. I have no reason not to believe her. She sounded like she was telling the truth to me. But it's always good to hear both sides of the story. And by the time you hear his side, he acknowledges that he had sex with this girl, but he claims that she was like an adult, right? As soon as she became an adult, they started having sex. That's his claim, right? And he was talking about he would repeat text messages that she would send, saying, yeah, come get me, daddy, and all this other shit. Whatever he claimed that she said. And that's supposed to prove that he didn't mess with her when she was underage. I think he said he started messing with her when she was 17 or 18. But look, you're a grown-ass man. At 18 years old, she's still a child, right? So you want us to believe that as soon as she became a legal adult, that's when you were finally like, okay, let's have sex now. Because according to you, she was the one who came on to you or whatever. Why would she want to do that? And why would she wait until she's 18 years old? Right? I don't believe him, right? If all of a sudden you start having sex with your girlfriend's daughter at 18 or whatever age you said she was, you expect us to believe that was the first time? I don't believe it. I believe it. Listen, just because by the time you had been, raping her because she's a child, right? You manipulated her, and allegedly, right? Allegedly, you manipulated her, you groomed her to the point where she was willing to do what she didn't know. She didn't know what the hell she was doing. She was just doing what you wanted her to do. That's a form of rape. But if you are grooming a child for years, I can see why she might be at maybe 17, 18, 19 years old wanting what you had been giving her, right? She's used to it. You were probably you were her first time. She hasn't had this experience with anybody else, so she thinks you the man. You know what I'm saying? But she's a child, But this is the thing. If she was 18 or 17 when you started messing with her, what makes you think that that's okay? Just because it's a legal age, that does not mean that she has the capacity to handle messing with a grown man, right? messing with a grown man who's had all of the experiences that he's had, and who manipulated her into wanting him, right? Whether you had been having sex with her from the age of 15 or not. He had planted seeds in her brain. So if you think it's okay to have sex with a 18-year-old child, and you're in your 30s or 40s or however old you were, if you're in your 30s or 40s and she's 18, but you have known her since she was 14 or 13 years old, why would you think that it's okay to mess with her at that age if you've known her for that long? So you mean to tell me you didn't know that she was attractive until she came onto you? Or did you know that she was attractive, or did you think that she was attractive when she was 14 years old? You're like, you know what? I'm a get in her head. By the time she's 18 years old, she's ready and she wants it. You know what I mean? Like that's come on, man. It's wrong. No matter how you slice it, whether she was 17, 14, 15, 18, shit is wrong, right? There's no way that any grown man that has some sense, whether they have daughters or not, because I heard them talk about that, about men who talk about him with these allegations, talking about they have daughters and sisters and shit. You know what? I do have daughters and I do have sisters, but I don't need daughters and sisters to know that a grown-ass man in his 30s or 40s fucking around with a 17-year-old is wrong, or even an 18-year-old is wrong, when you had been dating her mother since she was 13, 14 years old. So even if you didn't molest her and groom her when she was 13, 14 years old, something was going on in your mind where you were like, okay, when she turns 18 or when she turns of age, I'm going to jump on that. Anyone that thinks that that's okay is sick in the fucking head. All right? And if it comes to light that you actually did, right? If the facts are known, if the evidence comes out, because like I said, I believe her. You know what I'm saying? I believe her. And what really made me believe her was you coming out and acknowledging that you had sex with her in general. So, okay. What's the difference between 14 and 18 years old? What's the difference between 14 and 13 years old? Not much of a difference. Not much of a difference, especially if she hadn't been living on her own. She hadn't made her own decisions. You know, she hasn't experienced life as you had, or a woman your age has, or even a woman in her 20s or a man in their 20s. So, in a world not controlled by legal bullshit or laws, right? Man-made laws, where, you know, okay, they might deem an 18-year-old as an adult. You know what I'm saying? But in reality, they're not adults until they demonstrate that they can live as an adult, right? That's how I look at it. And then it's a society that operates outside of this government system. And in some cultures, you might be, I don't know, you might be administered street justice for messing with an 18-year-old when you have been dating her daughter, her mother, and have known her since she was 13 years old. You know what I'm saying? Because they know, okay, all of a sudden you walking around with this young girl, you're sending back and forth text messages, y'all are having sex. All of a sudden. Anyway, shit is bullshit, man. Any way you slice it, right? Any way you slice it. It doesn't take a genius to understand what's going on here. But I want to get to Sa Neter, because he asked a question And, you know, I don't know if it was a serious question, but he acted like it was a bombshell question, like that was supposed to mean something. Like it's supposed to make a difference, right? He asked the question, if the mother's okay with it, then what are we supposed to do? Right? Like, if the mother's okay with her boyfriend fucking her daughter, right? First of all, if you know the mother of this child, of this person, Kelsey, you know that she was a piece of shit, right? You know she was not a very good mother, according to Kelsey, right? You know that she wasn't a very good mother in the first place. So to ask the question, if you know anything about that, to ask the question, if the mother is okay with it, what are we supposed to do? If that's a serious question and you don't know the answer because you didn't answer the question, you acted like, yo, the mom is okay with you banging her daughter. It is what it is. So there's nothing we can do about it. Oh man, you know, that shit's crazy, man. That to me, that puts Sonetta in a whole different light to me. It makes me look at him kind of strange because that question is a crazy question. And that reminds me of when he was talking about, you know, when he was talking about Hassan Campbell in Africa Bambaataa. And he was running off ages that would be considered, you know, molestation, right? The ages that he mentioned were like 8 years old, 9 years old, 6 years, like under 10. And I didn't really want to speculate too hard on why he would say that. Like, okay, are you saying that anybody over those ages are fair game? Is it fair game for a grown-ass man to mess with a 13-year-old, 14-year-old? Because in his mind, in Sonetta's mind, in a lot of people's minds, Hassan Campbell was a willing participant in the sexual acts of Africa Bambaataa, right? And the only confusion in the debate might be about what age Hassan Campbell might have been a willing participant, right? So if Africa Bambaataa started messing with Hassan Campbell when he was 12 years old or 13, some cats think that's okay. So let's say that Hassan Campbell actually did want to fuck with Africa Bambaataa and was a willing participant without any grooming involved at age 12, 13 years old. Some cats would think that that's okay and call him Africa Bambaataa's boyfriend and call that a relationship. I don't roll like that. I'm very consistent when it comes to children, right? Male children, female children. If a grown-ass man in his late 20s and 30s is fucking around with a 13-year-old, 14-year-old kid, and the kid is a so-called willing participant, then that grown-ass man needs to be hung from a tree. In reality, it doesn't matter if that 12 or 13-year-old maybe is a little bit more mature than most 12, 13-year-olds, and I don't know, they wanted to do sexual shit. Even if Hassan Campbell and this girl Kelsey was a willing participant in these sexual acts with these grown-ass men, it does not make it okay, right? It doesn't make it okay for this grown-ass man to take advantage of this child's, desires because they're still children. They're still children, right? And this is what we need to understand. a lot of people like to say, when I was 13 to 14 years old, I knew what the hell was going on and blah, 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 right? I would have known, and I would have, it would have never happened to me again. I'd have killed somebody, all this other shit. But it didn't happen to you, right? It didn't happen to you at age 12, 13 years old. It happened to somebody else at age 12, 13 years old. So you don't know what you would have done if it happened to you. You can say what you would have done now that you're a grown-ass man or woman. You can say that. And then this is just another form of victim blaming. So if Kelsey, let's say Kelsey did indeed want Shaka Amos in a sexual way at age 14, 15 years old, it's not okay. Even if the mother is like, oh, well, I want to make my man happy, he can fuck both of us, it's still wrong, right? So what do you do when the mother says it's okay? If it's okay with the mother, what do we do? What do you do? Well, if you're going to hang, right, in street justice, right? Let's say in a video game, if you're going to hang the child molester, if you're going to punish the child molester, you're going to also punish the mother or the parent of the child that allowed it to happen. So that's what you do. If we're the protectors of children, right? If we want to protect our children, and children are the future, and we love the children, right? And if the children is the most important thing and the most precious thing, they need to be protected at all costs. If the mother is a danger to that child, to the point where they allow a grown-ass man to fuck around with them, then guess what? You're supposed to take that fucking mother out too. That mother is clearly not a fit mother. They're fucking crazy and deranged and allowed this shit to happen. So that's what you do. You fucking deal with the mother the same way you deal with that child molesting grown-ass man. That's what you do. Just because the mother's okay with it doesn't make it right, right? If a mother, because this happens, man. There are cases where a woman is seeing a dude and she has a kid, and the dude is just a piece of shit and treats the kid like shit, and then at some point ends up killing the kid, and the mother has been allowing this abuse to go on. It may even have been a willing participant. And then she allows this man, who's not even the father, to harm this child physically, like physically abuse a child, maybe put him in the hospital, break some bones, maybe even kill him. No one's asking, well, if the mother's okay with it, what do you do? No one's asking that in those cases. No, and if they do ask that, then I got to look at you funny. So why are we asking that in regards to sexual abuse, where the mother or where the daughter or the child might have even been a so-called willing participant? Why are we asking that? Oh, well, if the mother's okay with it, what do we do? You wouldn't ask that if the mother was allowing a man to beat on her child and break the fucking bones of a child and kill the child. You would know what to do with that mother. The same thing you do to that dude. If a mother is around when a stepfather or a dude that she's dating kills a child and she allowed it to happen, guess what? She's probably gonna get the same fucking sentencing. She's gonna get the same charges probably, right? Or almost equal charges, maybe a little less charges. No one's asking that when it comes to so why are we asking that when it comes to child sexual abuse? Why is that a question? Why is that a question? It just makes me look at Sonetta in a weird light. Because I don't understand how he can fix his mouth to even ask that question. That's just crazy to me. Damn it. That shit is crazy to me. But you know, some people, man, some people are okay with shit that other people aren't okay with. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not asking that question with a straight face, because I would know. I would know the answer. We have to protect the children from any potential danger, even if that danger is the mother. What's up, alien believers? Like, I don't know. If the mother is allowing any form of abuse to happen to a child, for a man, then that mother is an unfit mother, clearly, and she needs to be dealt with the same way that the man needs. But that's what you do if the mother's okay with it. If the mother's okay with it, you look at her as though she's that child's enemy, and you deal with it in that manner. So I just, that shit baffled my mind. There were a lot of things in that interview that like, even with Shaka Amos showing Sonetta videos of sexual acts between this child and himself, Sonetta being, oh, well, she threw herself on her, so, you know, it must not have been no kind of bad shit going on. Well, yeah, he groomed her. It's called grooming, right? It's called grooming. She might eventually enjoy it at some point, right? Especially as she gets older and comes more into her womanhood. She might. That's just what it is. Like, listen, a lot of porn stars were molested as children, right? And because they were groomed and they were done a certain way, they were having relations with grown men as children for so long, and they're so used to it, and it becomes like an obsession. And so they always want to have sex. They always want to be treated a certain way. And they want to have sex with a lot of different men. Like, it is just something that they want to do. It's a psychological thing that's going on with these victims. And so some of them, they'll become porn stars because, hell, there's a smorgasbord of dicks and whatever, and women, you know, they might like women too. And so they become porn stars so that they can live out their sexual deviancies that was implanted into them by their abuser when they were kids. So, and that's why I'm like, when this is out of left field, but Lawrence Fishburne's daughter is a porn star, right? Out of nowhere, she just became a porn star. And I had to wonder what happened in that household that made her want to become a porn star. When I think of porn stars, I think not all of them have been sexually abused. I'm not saying that. Just like all gay men haven't been sexually abused, but a lot has. You'd be surprised by how many gay men were molested by grown men as children. So then, you know, a lot, you know, there's I'm born like this or whatever. No, a lot of them they're saying that, and it's bullshit because they're trying to protect their abuser. So, you know, in secret, they might tell somebody, yeah, I was molested by this grown man, my uncle or whoever, when I was a child, and, you know, this is probably why I like dick. So some people might see porn as a form of sexual deviancy. Well, that's probably because they were abused as children, and that is what it is. So just because, now that she's 17, 18 years old, she's sending me these text messages talking about, I want to fuck you right now, and then you can film me having sex, and I'll throw you around, and and be aggressive. That doesn't mean that she wasn't abused. That further convinces me in my mind that you groomed her to be that way, right? You groomed her to act in that manner because you taught her what you like. That's what it puts in my mind. But, you know, it's alleged. You know, it is what it is. But I thought I'd touch on that real quick. I got to get out of here. Much love, like, share, subscribe, and I'll holla at y'all later, man. Let's keep marching forward toward freedom. Peace.